Take a look at the new Dawesome plugin that just came out. It's an FX plugin. We're going to try it on different scenarios. It's called HATE. I know some people might be wondering why a company would put out a plugin that's called HATE, because it's kind of like, it's hate. But anyway, the reason partly is because they put out a plugin called Love. And Love is more based on the ambient and kind of spatial, cloudy, however you want to determine, shimmer, filters, and things of that nature. Whereas HATE is more based on distortion, complete opposite. I'm going to grab a piano real quick. Give me 1 second here to do that. I'll just take the intimate piano, and we're going to try it on different instruments, and then I'll try it on a sample at the end. Okay, so here's the piano. Let's grab HATE off of the drums, and we'll drop it onto the piano first. So what's cool is you have all these different distortions and different plugins that are going to be in here. I'm not going to go through each one. Grains is pretty self-explanatory. And if you leave this on here, this little tool thing here, when you scroll across things, you'll see it tells you a description. Mixes the dry signal with the mouse sync signal, set to full for sonic mayhem. Okay, so they also have this up here, which is a randomizer. So it will literally randomly select you a preset. But if you want to randomize the actual stuff that's in that preset, then you use this one. And you'll see it just randomizes everything on the screen. Table, let me see if we're going to go. It's a dry wet control for the wavetable shaper that's going on in the distortion. And you can get real intricate here and adjust how much of it or how you want it to sound, and then how much of you want it in the mix. Okay, and so if you've ever used any of Dawesome stuff, you can use this little star here to select your favorites. You can also generally randomize the name and then create your own, right? So it's pretty cool. All right, let's do this. I'm going to show you inside of here. This is the easier to read, I think, browser, we're going to call it, for lack of better words. And if you look down here and you scroll down, you'll see there's over 213 presets. Now that's just the ones that they have now. These are the authors right here. So you can check out some of their videos. Sometimes they'll do demos. I know Data Broth just did some demos of his stuff. Okay, these are your characters to describe what type it is, and then the type. So for this keys, we're just going to go to keys, and then we're going to grab just something at random, so that you can see all these titles are kind of, descriptive in their own way. So you click on one. Here's nice analog. Let's just try it out. So here's the piano without it. This is Spitfire Audio's grand piano. And then with it. Now it may be too much for you. That's fine. You can turn the mix back. That's usually how I would do it, is just change the mix when you have too much going on. Okay, so let's just grab a random preset. Warren. Ooh, that's nice. Now, if I remember right, okay, no, they don't do it this way. This one's a little different. So I guess it's whatever plugin you clicked on. No, it's not. Okay, so there's these drop-down menus that give these factory presets that allow you to change it. So you can make it boxy, dark, bright, or smile. I guess that's just a way of descriptively changing. But it depends on which preset or which instrument you're using, or I shouldn't say instrument, which effect you're using. Let me change that. So you can move them around, it looks like, too, or change these here. So if it's and then you can also, I'm gonna go back and put it back the way it was so you can see this. All right, let's try one more in here. When you click on here, you'll see it's pulling from whatever you've selected. This is interesting. So if you're in the keys, it's only gonna select stuff for the keys. But you can also have multiple selected. So you could have lo-fi with it too. And now select between these two categories. And you have all of these, and again, star the ones that you want for your user presets. Okay. All right. So that is what it sounds like on a piano. Let's move on. We're going to just grab the same hate. Let's do it on the drums. We're going to use addictive drums. It should be a little bit easier to do. We'll get rid of the keys and we'll just go to straight drums. Okay. And then I'm just going to pick one at random and then I'll play the drums. Before I do that, let me let you hear what these drums sound like. So these are kind of jazzy drums. You can put them on any drums, it really doesn't matter. Now I'm going to start switching around with this on. Some of them are going to get really loud, so just bear with me. And of course, you can mix and match any of this stuff. If you like maybe this one and this one, lock these, and then you can randomly adjust the rest of it. You also can go into the fine controls behind this picture. And these are volume adjustments if you want to adjust the volume on this. But like if you click here, you can go in and adjust all of the behind the scenes stuff going on. All right, that's enough for the drums. Let's move on to the bass. So I'm going to put it on Trillion. Now this is just Trillion with hate. So I'm Trillion with hate. So this is a, let me turn it, well, let me turn off the, turn this off for you. This is just a muted bass. It's just a jazz muted bass. Okay, now we're going to turn on hate and we're going to go into the bass instead of the drums. And we'll pick it at random. There is literally 110 on bass. So it tells you right here what how many they are. There's one with just saturation. Now for my saturation, usually with my bass, I use, if I'm using Trillion, I use the bass saturator, which is Roar. It's just a distortion, basically. So these are kind of cool. So you could take your bass and go nuts. And this was probably cool playing on a live instrument too, which would be fun. Some of these might be better sounding on a synth bass, but you know, just go to town and find out what you like. There's a ton of stuff. If you really want to get more descriptive, you could be like this and narrow your search down to the subtle. Like that one sounds pretty good. That and the saturation or even the dirt. Let's try the dirt. It's a little much, so I could. So So it's interesting. Of course, you can go in and tweak everything, right? So that's kind of a given. All right, so we're going to keep it pushing. That's the bass. Let's do guitar. So we'll grab HATE off of the bass and put it on the guitar. And then we'll go in and we'll look at the guitar presets. I'm trying to do as much as I can. I'm not doing vocals, so you guys can look at that yourself. And we'll take subtle off. So there's 73 so far with guitar. So you could like take a clean guitar that just sounds like this. This is humbuckers too, so it's going to have more push to it. Turn HATE back on. I mean, good lord. Now you'll notice some of these are like Warren. We saw this in another one. I'm sure Saturator is in here. Saturate, yeah. So some of them can be used on multiple things, but yeah, some of them are going to be their own thing. Let's try Doom Driver. So this is on a bass that's typically, I mean, on a guitar. So kind of, oh, I didn't mean to delete that. My bad. Dawson, we'll go back. All right, let's do a horn. See what they got. I don't think there was a horn preset, but if we go to lo-fi, we'll use lo-fi. And yeah, we'll just use lo-fi and maybe the pads. And I guess it'd be good to okay, this is Swam Instruments. I'm going to turn it off. This is the tenor sax. So we're going to do just some random stuff. There's one in here called horn. Let's try it out. Interesting. So again, pretty wild and can get all over the place. And this one has 83 presets attached to it. Well, this is for two of them. So lo-fi has 49 and pads say 59. Again, Warren, I'm sure Saturator is probably in here somewhere, or Saturate rather. There it is. I think Toasted I've seen in another one too before. So this is designed for pads. Let's see what effects they have. This is funny. I shouldn't laugh, but Angry Karen. Come on, guys. See, horn is in here too. Okay. So you kind of get the drift of what it is about HATE. All right. So one more thing I promised, and let's try it on a sample. Since we tried it on drums, we've tried it on keys, guitar, and that. Let's try it on a sample. So I'm going to go down and grab a sample from this George Benson acoustic. All right, that's cool. So we're just going to use it on there. And then let's put, I think it was on tenor. Yep. So we're going to drop it here. Now, obviously on a sample, you can use whatever you want, but let's just pick a few categories. So here's some that say mix. So it looks like it might be, they think that's for using it on the mix bus, maybe. Okay. All right. So we're not going to use that one. Let's go with synth. lo-fi pads and effects. There's 151 with the nose. And we'll just start pressing and try it out. Here we go. Well, I do need to turn off these drums so you can hear. And then we're going to go loop just that out. All right, let's go. Without it. So this is a guitar sample. Let's see if we can find something that's not a guitar, because we already kind of did a guitar. Let's try a percussive sample. We didn't really do that. All right, here we go. See, I like this already. This is where I find it really exciting. So and again, same principle, you can take some of it out of the mix. Now I'm just going to tweak it a little bit. Let's add in this melody. I'm going to use the warp. Yeah, so pretty cool. Let me pull it up here so you can see it. Again, don't forget you can look down here and figure out what everything is. It's a wave table. You can adjust the wave table manually. Just moving it with the mouse. Try another one. So you can colorize or texturize or whatever you want to call it with your eyes. Your samples to give it some character. Another thing you could do is you can mix it. So now I'm going to just throw in love with it. So there's hate. We're going to sprinkle a little love on it too. Now love gets really ambient in a lot of ways, in my opinion. So, and I wish they would update the browser very similar to hate, because I think it has a lot of good characteristics. But they also didn't include the randomized name, which I think is really cool. So hopefully they will add that feature to hate, but then also allow hate to have, love to have a better browser, because this is quite not fun. So we're going to throw this over. try a different preset. Let's put love in front of hate, because it should be in front of hate. Yeah. All right, so there you go. So, hate, it's an interesting thing to follow out, but I get the drift of it. It's like love, hate, distortion, darker, gritty, and sort of irritating to the ears at times, but then pleasant at other times. And love is more airy and lush and, kind of atmospheric in its own way. So it's just kind of the counter to the other one. And again, you can put any of these on anything. You don't have to follow their categories, but they kind of give you something to help you. And then explore right here with this. This is set to reverse, but you can turn reverse off. Increase the density. And if you listen to this one by itself, for instance, if we just let's mute this one. There you go. Sugar. Okay. So anyway, it's a really fun tool to be able to use it to color your sounds. And then if you're not invested into the, let's get rid of this, to Novum or Myth, which I think are two of the best that they've put out. I really like Novum, probably the best, but Myth is really cool. If you're not a sound designer, this plugin to me works for creating your own type of synths. So I'm going to pull up. See, this is the same thing. They update this little thing here. It'd be kind of nice. But anyway, let's go. Oh, they do have a browser on this one, by the way. It's down here. So it is here, but it would be cool if it was, yeah. Anyway, let me pick one here. I'm going to show you something. Go with this one. And we'll pick just this one. So that's pretty pleasant synthy sound. Let's put some hate on that thing. Let's go with warm, clean, and subtle there. And then we'll go with synth, lo-fi, keys, and pads. So it's adding some grit to it. Salt bath. Turn it up. So it's very gritty. It's going to give you the distortion that you want, saturation. That's what it's designed to do. It's 40% off right now. They did not pay me to do this. I actually bought my own. But one of the things cool about buying from Dawson is they give you credit back, like dollars towards your next purchase. So when you buy something, you really have a chance to get even more money off. For instance, I think without the discount, it was like $35 with the sale they have going on now, but they will let you take that extra dollars off. So I got it for like $30. So for me, it's a great asset to have when you want to color your sound. And that's what it is. It's an effects plugin, right? So if you're interested in it, grab it and enjoy it. And yeah, let me know what you think. All right, I'm out.